The meeting here today, Lincoln Hospital, Conference Room 6. I'm calling the meeting to order. My name, for those who don't know me, I'm Danny Barber. I'm the committee chair. We could just go around and we can do introductions just for the record so we know everyone's here. We'll start with you.
Rosa Pinheiro, Morehouse. Patricia Simpson, Patterson Houses.
Tom Francis, Whitehaven.
Diana, Whitehaven resident.
Stephen Palmer's community coordinator, Bronx CB1.
Anthony Jordan, District Manager of the Board. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Chairman, just to remind everybody to please silence all your electronic devices. Our meeting is being transcribed live on our YouTube channel, Bronx Community Board #1. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening.
So yes, once again, please excuse my tardiness. Had to wait for the home attendant to come back from the longest laundry run I ever seen. But I'm here. So thank you all. Our last meeting we had the old business, January 2025, the committee meeting. We had the office of the mayor, OASO, New York City asylum seekers, and the Bruckner Boulevard temporary emergency shelter. We had a pretty decent turnout. The community spoke in droves on that they did not want this facility to open in the community. The community also expressed this facility and others similar to it, maybe not asylum seekers, but the over fluctuation of shelters within the confines of Community Board 1. And with this area used to be the poorest congressional district until the rezoning of the lines, which I still find that quite amazing, with the prior congressman. And see, this is why I don't need positions like this, Lord, just because I just start talking and then later on I get pop piles. But I'm gonna say what I gotta say because it's transparency for the people, and that's what they want from the community board. For the old prior congressman to serve us for about 4 decades, and he stuck with the poorest congressional district. And it takes 48 hours or 72 hours, and it's no longer the poorest congressional district. Somebody need to teach me the formula. Because the people are continuing to be hoodwinked and bamboozled. And that's how we continue to get shelters. That's how we continue to, even though we're a sanctuary city and everyone deserves some place to live, the community board, this committee, I won't speak for the board, this committee stood up to take a stance for the community members who reside within the confines of this board. And with this committee being public housing, sustainable, supportive housing, to deal with housing in a nutshell, me as the committee chair would be totally disrespectful to every member that lives in the confines of Community Board 1 had we not made a stance. And for the record, let the community and everyone know we stand by you. We stand by you. A lot of times when media reaches out, I'm not able to be the one, and I shouldn't always be the one to stand. It's not a Danny Barber show. It's the people show. And I'm just someone that the people chose to stand up and be attacked for them. Because the old cliche, heavy is the head that wears the crown, I believe it. If I ever had any doubt in it, I don't know more. But I thought we had a very successful meeting to hear from the people. Although we weren't victorious with the outcome, But then again, we were victorious because we exercise our voices, we exercise our right. And just because something comes into fruition and the doors may open, if we continue to push and we continue to fight, like they do in Riverdale, like they do up in the Speaker's District, as they do in the majority in Andrea Stewart Cousins' district, or Miss People Stokes' district. These are powerful people of color. We're powerful people of color. They sit on high levels of government. We work every day and we're taxpayers. So in all actuality, they all work for us. And we have to start demanding and commanding more for us.
We got bamboozled.
And stop having people pull the wool over our eyes. Mama used to say, boy, you believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. They used to say, how you gonna believe? I saw it happen. No, it happened so fast, boy, you missed something. So you believe half of it and whatnot. And if you don't stand for something, you'll go for anything. And that's our problem. Because we're told one thing, and because we're in the same party or the same group as people, we tend to take their word for law and whatnot. And it no longer means anything when you say a human being says my word is my bond. What is your word really worth? Now, will you stand up there to the mayor and his team? Yeah, sure will. Yeah. I'm the guy. I just don't have anything to say about the mayor because he's down right now. But I'm also told that you don't kick a man when they're down because the karma that comes back to you comes back 10, 20 times harder than what it is that you gave him. So he knows our little beefs. He knows our disagreements and whatnot. And it's all about this asylum and whatnot. Because I feel if we're American citizens and we're taxpayers, we deserve the same that you give somebody else that's coming in seeking asylum.
Well, here's my thing right here.
Hold on, Ernie. Hold on. I ain't opened it up yet. Okay. And this is what we have to understand. We can't beat each other up now. This is a crucial time. You may not like nothing I got to say.
I ain't said that.
But not you.
No.
But know this one fact. When I get put out, you gonna get put out. Mm-hmm. When I'm starving, you gonna starve. Mm-hmm. And if you're not as resourceful as I am, when I eat, you gonna eat. It goes to show you where petty is, and it don't got no room over here. I might not agree with you, and there's a lot of people that I don't agree with in the world that I live in, and there's a lot of people that don't like me for whatever fictitious reason. And there's a lot of people spreading false propaganda and false rumors about me. They don't know me. Similar to Christ. He said, there'll be many false prophets and many people who say they come in my name, but I know not of them. And there'll be many people who blaspheme me. But he says, I still too forgive them. Mm-hmm. So who am I to say I love him and I never seen him and I look at y'all every day walking by me and I'm holding a grudge against you? Ma'am, I don't know you, but I love you, sister. God bless you.
Thank you. I love you. I'm glad to be here. I was at the last meeting and you were awesome.
I'm glad you came back.
Listening to you is just like, it's deep.
I'm glad you came back.
It's gonna be okay with people like you.
Well, I've been quitting since I got. I've been quitting since I got bored. Sometimes life is too much for me and whatnot, but he figures it out. He makes a way.
People are praying for you.
And it's all about him.
That's right.
Yeah, all prayer ain't good prayer either. All right.
All kinfolk ain't kinfolk.
Oh, no. But I take it. I take it and I leave it up to God to weed out the good prayer and the bad prayer. It's not up to me to judge. They taking the opportunity to pray. Something I love to do. I love talking to them. Because if I should, I could tell you my testimony. But we had a good meeting. It was a lot of positive feedback. And what we may say, somebody might say was negative. It might have been negative to you, but it wasn't negative to the person that said it because they gave their feelings. They spoke from their heart. So who are we to cast judgment on how they feel and what's important to you? Because me living in my little situation and everything I go to may not be as precedent in life as what you may go through. And if I take the time to hear your story, I might see your story, not that it outbeats mine, but it may need more attention than mine's might ever need. And that's all people need is an ear. And that's what that community's been begging for. They got forced with the jail that the political structures, and I'm not gonna blame the council member. I'm not gonna blame her.
Why not?
Because it was put into place before she got there.
But every other council.
Hold on a minute. It was put into place before she got there. That's just like you come with history lessons. You come with history. You're a walking thesaurus. You're a walking encyclopedia. You're a walking almanac. You are Wikipedia's little cousin, Hermanpedia. And you come with facts. But sometimes you come with certain facts at the wrong time. And that fact might be off, but you know what? We still learn from Mr. Francis at all times because the knowledge that Mr. Francis has is power. It's power. And Mr. Francis ain't telling his story. And when I say his story, I mean all that history that we learned in school as children. Mr. Francis is coming facts telling his story. And Mr. Francis don't hold back telling his story. I learned a lot from Herman Francis over the years. We was on the community board before together. We both got off and got back on again and got off and we back on again. And that's all it is, man. Life is a teaching tool.
That's it.
And there needs to be more people. The young people don't talk to the elders because the elders don't take the time to hear the young people. And the older adults are afraid of the young people, but the young people say, why they afraid of us? When I sat in her house and she fried chicken for me when I was sitting with Jonathan and with Patricia. But then they get put into situations because everybody turned their back and jails are being built for them in communities that don't want it. And underneath the jail, you get in lavish retail markets. Why would you think about putting a Louis Vuitton store underneath a prison?
Right.
For what? For me to get out of jail or rob you and to go back into jail?
Back to jail.
So you're systematically oppressing them to set them up to become a product of society that never leave the system.
You know that. We got that down to side.
Go ahead, Mr. Francis. I'm gonna let you say a
But
couple
see,
words.
my understanding is about that gym. Every council person in the Bronx voted against it. But what happened was this district I live in right there. I'm right on the border now. The council person represents that district. Part of it is in Manhattan, the other part is in the Bronx. And I remember they did that petition because I spoke against it. But we the only council district in this whole state that's in two separate counties. No other council man district, not only in the state but in the state, is split into two counties. Part of the But yet they went ahead and did anyway. Now she's term limited out. The council person over there. She ain't had to talk about putting no jail on the Manhattan side because the tombs is down there, sitting on top of there. So, and since the Bronx side has a smaller voting population than the Manhattan side, she wasn't scared about the Bronx vote. So it was a win-win for her. Put it there and go on the other business and move on. I'm looking at it like that because when she was over here talking about she's turning limited out, I said, oh, that's what the deal was. She was turning limited out so nobody could do nothing to her. So what the next person is going to do? We want to get stuck with it because now that they closing the Roosevelt Hotel for South, yeah, yeah, they closed. If they close that, what are they gonna ship the others that come that's following them right up in here?
So that 200 beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They just transferring them.
and when I worked the polls, it was looked at the numbers. And so for even when I was county coordinator for a few candidates, and looking at those numbers again, I was just shaking my head. I said, all these folks up here, they don't come out to vote, you're gonna get shafted. And that's exactly what happened. They take our tax money, do what they want to do with it. That's what got jammed up the mayor. We want to make sure he don't get jammed like Koch got jammed when Koch became mayor. So we want to make sure that the tax money that the federal government it comes back to the CBO, community-based organizations and the city agencies that deserve it. Let's get it. I heard that's now they want to take the money out of the public school system that's pushing DEI, which is ridiculous.
But we're not gonna go on the DEI. We're gonna stick to housing. We're not gonna cross over into that other committee's
No, that's it.
stomping ground. That's their thing.
That's their thing.
We won't hinder it though. So,
Okay, well I'll leave you at that point right there.
but
How they want to take that, how they want to not give the city of New York this their fair share of what they're entitled to.
Well, we have to keep the fight going. So in that area, we have more houses. That's a bit off. We have more houses. That sits in between. We have Patterson's. That's a little way off. It's up the street. We have Mitchell. We have Marhaven. We have St. Mary's. We have Adams. So we have, I said, we got about 7, 8 NYCHA developments, Diego Beekman, and the little turnkey NYCHA, little side buildings.
Botanics in that clinic.
Botanics is Wavecrest now. It's private management. It's no longer NYCHA's portfolio. And we have Wavecrest there. Botanics. So with all of that, and all of those community people standing up that they don't want this. And I've seen a little press conference in front of the facility. All of those people there. So speaking with the district manager today, next steps we both agreed on. And they say great minds think alike, saying pretty much at the same time. The district manager will work on, along with the help of Stephen, to work on to get a site visit.
Yeah.
So that this committee, along with the rest of the executive board members of Community Planning Board 1, and any of its members that wish to go, and then you're more than welcome to please keep in touch with Mr. Jordan. So once that's set up, you're more than welcome to, because you're the community member of the housing committee. We appreciate you coming back, and we ask that you continue to come back. And if you have anything or any topics around housing that you want to bring to the light for the board to look into, and by all means, please do so.
One question.
Go ahead.
The city still got that intake center up here on the hill on 130th Street for anybody for the homeless. Anybody who wants a place to stay.
100 and where?
It's 130. Actually, I believe it's 130 now. It's intake. I know it's one for the
You talking about
entire
the
city.
Hunts Point?
No, not Hudsport. Right over there, right there, St. Anne's. There's one intake center for the entire city.
The only intake, all of HR8 intake now is ran out of Hunts Point. Everything is ran out of Hunts Point. They don't even do the intake. You would have to go to Hunts Point, and then they would direct you to your centers and all of that. I know Ryder's still open. They was talking about probably getting rid of. They talking about like downsizing Ryder, switching everything over to Hunts Point. Yeah, so for the new business, yeah, request a site visit of this temporary shelter so that we can literally see for ourselves. And I mean, and I'm pretty sure that when you visit a place, people want to know, what do you think? And I mean, I just say that wherever we go, whether it's with the committee or your personal life, your professional life, whatever you do, just always just be mindful. Because everybody isn't a receptacle to change. But that's what we all want.
How much does the city spend on this place?
They didn't give us an amount. They gotta come back with that amount. But change, that's the thing that everyone wants is change. But the hardest thing to accept is what you want, change. Because we think with change, all change is badness. No, it's what you make of the change and what you negotiate from the change. Because if you look at that jail deal, once the community realized that the prior administration, before the sitting council member got there, her predecessor jammed up. She was the speaker. Who's going against the speaker of the council? Who? What she says goes. And we know when she was there, it was when I got along was Miss Quinn. It's not more like her. But yeah, so it's like sometimes when you take over something, that's the change. You could be the change that people are looking for, but you got to do your homework before you step into that seat, because you got to know what promises, what deals were made, who signed on what line, who gave what away, and what do you need to follow, and how much of your integrity that you must turn against. Yeah.
My understanding is the state had a youth jail on 161st Street in Washington Avenue.
That closed.
That's
That
closed.
was
That's
good.
closed. But the city negotiated. I understand the city negotiated to buy it from the state.
No, Bronx Works, the city don't have it. Bronx Works has it now. It's a shelter.
Okay.
It's a shelter for Bronx Works. And when you go around the back of the building, it's a after-school program. It's called Satellite Center and whatnot. No, yes, Pyramid Satellite. It's operated by Bronx Works. Miss Keisha Roberts oversees that. She oversees the Bronx Works Classic Center and the Melrose Houses. She oversees the St. Mary's Parks Community Center that's located in the St. Mary's houses for St. Mary's, John Adams, and more houses. And she also oversees the Kansas Houses Community Center.
About the place on 110th Street. That used to be a jailhouse down there on 110th Street.
I
Can't
answer that for you.
Central Park for you.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's closed also by the state.
All of those state facilities are closed. You had the one on Fulton Avenue.
Yeah, right.
And whatnot. The state had it, let it go, then the feds took it. Halfway House feds let it go, then the city took it, did something with it. The state got it back. It's supposed to be making another facility out of it again, but it's a lot of talk in the air, and that's actually community board authority. They,
That's what them was wrong.
yes. So yes, sir.
You let me recap what we heard at the meeting with the about the facility. Thank you, Chair. So I just want to recap that the chair mentioned at his request, we're gonna and we mentioned that we're gonna be able to see the site like we did with the juvenile detention facility, to be able to get board members only and any other folks that the chair has invited public members only to, so that they be able to see the site. It is my understanding the site is open and operational now, as of not knowing how many with the population there right now. But as we've discussed, this to recap, and you did this at the full board meeting. The site background is the capacity of having 2,200. They quote unquote broke it down to 2,020, but that's the give and take. Facility has 7 floors, including a basement. Converted from a warehouse to the emergency shelter. It was supposed to be used for back offices space, which means like the operations offices for HRA, other city agencies, and it was office building that was white box, meaning it had no furniture. It's all white cement walls. That was never used for that space, and so then that's when the lease was reappropriated. The metal detectors and 24-hour on-site security. We're going to work to collaborate with city agencies to mitigate safety and security issues as it relates on-site and the surrounding community. That's a very vague statement. Anybody says working to mitigate something is saying perhaps maybe in someone that we will go and do something. That we already know that here those who attend the 40th precinct community council meetings, they have already removed 15 police officers from most recent graduation class, so we're already down 15. We understand that that's happened to other precincts throughout the city, but we have one of the largest precinct areas to cover, and so we need every cop we can get. Plus, we had 20 cops that were dedicated to the hub area. That may change again because the 15 cops that were taken, not including 20, but 15 of them taken from the graduation class, have been reappropriated to the transit system. So that's where the police are. New York City Housing Recovery Operations will manage the site temporarily emergency shelter, and they're going to be supervising the contract from a group called Garner Property Management. Garner Property Management is someone who's going to just take care, make sure the lights come on, that everything, make repairs, etc. So they're going to be like the lead contractor. They'll be responsible for working to make sure that they get other subcontractors like the kitchen. There's not a kitchen there, so the food's going to get shipped there every time. Security, social services, etc., etc. Like the chair mentioned, it was a very vague, in my opinion, chair, like you said, word conversation about what really is going to be the population that comes to the facility. Are they background checked? It was also very vague to find out whether or not what the men are going to be doing while they're there. Meaning, we understand that there was a curfew established for 11 p.m. for it because apparently there's going to be a working class of men that is there. So that my understanding that some of the men that were there will have some work authorizations, but that's again not listed here. So again, that statement was also very good. I'm a person that you see in writing, so you know that it's factual. But the record is anybody who wants to just recall as we prepare for this site visit is to be able to be prepared for what the chair is going to talk about next, so that we can be able to facilitate this correctly, appropriately. And at the chair's request, he's going to talk to you about when we hope to have scheduled the site. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Usually.
No, I just had to write myself a note. So basically, what we were looking at is for next month's meeting, for March. Our meeting is the last Monday of the month. That would be the 31st. So We're tentatively trying to see if we can get it around. So, so that'll be 24th.
Yes.
So it will be the 24th, the last Monday before the full board meeting. Yeah, all committee meetings have to be concluded before the full board meeting, so committee reports and everything.
24.
We're tentatively trying to get it for the 24th, but as beautiful as the staff is in the office, you never have to worry about anything when it comes to notification, because I used to say to myself, I don't know if they ever gonna find anybody that could fit Mrs. Amy Rojas's shoes, and that will be as tentative in getting stuff out. Stephen good. Stephen good. He not out Miss Amy, but Stephen is good. He makes sure that you get the information. He makes sure you know about it. You call the office. Mr. Jordan isn't there. It's not like, I gotta get back to you. Nah, he answers you the best way possible. And whatnot, if he has to get back to you, it's because you asked him other things. So, yes, very proud of them, and they do a diligent job. So we're tentatively trying to get it for the 24th, but once the date is set, I know the correspondence will go out quickly. Yes, Mr. Francis.
Housing police. That issue comes up all the time. We're on the PSA 7, they postponed the last.
So if you hold that thought
Yes, sir.
and let me say my last statement
Okay.
before we get ready to adjourn this,
Right.
because it was a sweet, short meeting to the point.
Yeah.
I promised Mr. Jordan I wouldn't talk on that.
No, that's good.
Right, so I'm requesting from the office manager and the district manager, if we can get a conversation with the public service committee, municipal committee, policy committee, AKA / my lawyer, because we need to have a joint meeting about NYPD
Yes.
and the coverage that's given to our community
Yes.
from the promises made from the tour, which we see the public statement was made public to the community and to the Bronx and the rest of the city about the mayor investing in the hub to clean it up.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, so we just have to sit back, wait, and see what happens, and then have a meeting again with the hub staff to see what changes, and just speak to the people. Maybe the community board and the committees put together a survey about the community and go out maybe one day and we get people to fill out our surveys. How do you feel your community is within the last 10 years? Is it better? Is it worse? Do you feel safe? So that we can get data. Everybody else come to us with it fluctuated data. I ain't gonna say lies. I'm not gonna just say lies or it ain't fake news. Then they all Fox.
Lies.
Then they all Fox. They just think everyone thinks that it's just okay. Because if people of color just to lie and tell them anything. And young person, I was talking to two young people Saturday, and the young lady said, lately when you talk, you change your whole spew when you speak. I said, what do you mean? She said, everything is racist now when it come out your mouth. Everything is color, 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 color. And the young man said, I got you, big homie. He said to her, everything that's shown to us is color, 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 color. All he's doing is perceiving what he sees. And he's giving you the fact about what he sees and how he perceives it. So I said, can I speak for me now? They both said yes. So I told her, it's not that it's color. It's just that the people of color have been walked over, stepped on. They've been the doormat for so many years. Now that they're standing up and being boisterous, and you rebellious individuals, you young people, are standing up, and a lot of the older people are looking at you guys and opening their eyes and saying, hey, Shorty ain't that bad. He got a good head on his shoulders. Look what he's saying. But had we sat down at the table, we could have been fierce with all of us. Instead of 40 cheers, about 4,000 cheers. And that's our problem in public housing.
Yes.
A couple people think that they could do a better job than step up. I will not answer any negative rhetoric or nothing. All I say is, what haven't I done? And then I'll say the campaign that I ran on. May the work I've done speak for me. May the service I give speak for me. When I've done all I can and there's nothing else that I can understand, may the work that I've done speak for me. And if you don't know where I got that from, go sit in the church. Don't go to church, go to church. And listen to the choir and the pastor. And I want you to get a blessing. I don't want you to sit there and just be,
Right.
amen. No, I want you to go to church. I want you to, when the pastor opens his or her mouth, I want you to feel the message going through your life. That's church. It's a big difference between the church and the church. And where I come from, it was church every Sunday. I went to church 8 days a week. 495 days of the year. I was in the choir, junior choir, the deacon board, the junior usher board. I was a pastor, junior pastor steward. I was on the trustee board. I cleaned the church and whatnot. I went and opened up the church for the man to come and fix the stuff in the church. When it snowed outside, I had to shovel the snow, I had to throw the salt, I had to put the garbage out, I had to sort through the garbage. When they started doing cycling, I had to strip.
All the ministry.
And my mother had the keys to the church. So when mama went to the church, I went to the church.
That's it.
And I was at Sunday
Did
school.
you come with me?
I opened up church for the pastor on Sunday morning, me and my sister. Sunday school started at 9 o'clock. That was my job at 12 years old. When you go in the church, you're going to go open up the basement door, the switch right there on the top of the stairs, you're going to flick it on.
Ain't no rap.
8:45. Walking in church. Took the boiler 10 minutes to heat up the church. And whatnot. And then you waiting for Sister Johnson and them all to come over and start cooking breakfast on Sunday morning.
You got you.
So I got there early. And then when they wanted you needed something from the store, oh Lord, we didn't get no butter. I'm running to the corner store. Matter of fact, the supermarket right across the street from the precinct. I go, give me the list. Give me the list. Y'all got enough money? I got $50. I got $50. I'm supposed to put 20 in church and 30 I got to keep for the week, but I'll spend it.
Spend it, right?
No.
When they give you the money and said, make this work.
Make it work, right?
Work, but not knowing. I go to the store and they say it's for the church. Yeah, he gave me all the stuff for free. And I get change.
Okay.
Make it work.
Work,
Make it
right?
work.
Make it work.
So I mean,
Be careful, in case you may be watching you right now. The camera, the YouTube.
so yeah, that's a suggestion that we partner with a couple other committees like that, as well as uh, uh, um land use committee, different committees like that, because things come into our communities, and although it may fall on the privy of one committee, it affects all of the committees. Because land use, we have housing coming into the community, but nobody thinks about parking. It affects municipal services because then it becomes a safety issue.
I'm glad you brought
It
that up.
affects the housing crisis because although we're building housing that's needed, then we have to make sure that the city uses right terminology when it says housing. If you're building housing, just say housing. Don't say affordable. Because what's affordable for you is definitely not affordable.
Get that word out.
And whatnot. And this area here, let's get it off of the $98,000 a year, and let's bring it back down to the $8,486.75 as the average income, because that's a public assistance income.
It's worse than that, man.
So,
It's worse than that.
I mean, so
They got some that's going
it was quick. It's 7. Anybody have any questions? Any concern? Any questions about the site visit?
Yeah.
And whatnot? Anybody want to add anything else?
We spoke on the police officers, because my thing was, they're adding all these police officers, new or old, to this new building. But we've been begging for police services for the longest time, and then they were bringing police officers from everywhere else to our developments. Now they're taking them away again.
Well, there were
And PSA 7 didn't show at the last meeting.
There were 2 classes, right, that just graduated. First class was a class of over 700. Public housing got nothing. This last class, if they barely got nothing. Now, I'm going to give you the ironic, oxymoronic portion to all of this. They graduated all these classes. They assigned all these officers to transit. Transit got the highest out of everybody. Transit and anti-terrorist and all of those special. So for transit to get such an influctuation in police coverage, that's being recorded. That's live.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Mayor,
Attention to all visitors.
Madam Police Commissioner,
Atención a todos los visitantes. El horario de visita a los pacientes finalizará
Salamanca,
en 15 minutos.
Vanessa Gibson,
A la adopción de su edificio,
Chantel Jackson, Althea Stevens, Serrano, Richie Torres, to all of you elected officials, all elected on the sweat, blood, and tears of the residents of public housing. You need to sit down with the residents in the South Bronx and in the city as a whole to explain how the police are broken down and distributed to assignments. Because with all the graduating classes and the influctuation going to transit, how Gotta use your words are powerful, so you gotta properly use the words and choose words to not offend or hurt anyone because you don't want to be offended or hurt. So, how do you properly assign someone that from you influctuated transit authority with police? The governor's influctuated them with the National Guard. The train should be the safest place in the city right now, other than when the president is here and he's riding around. That should be the safest place in the city. So we get police coverage in public housing, and we get because of the drill rap and all of the beefs in the street. With all that being said and all the extra coverage, we're getting transit officers pulled from where they're needed. You're taking the neighborhood community officers, the NCOs, and putting them on transit and special assignment. So if it's a parade, you say, oh, black and brown, kill yourself. We ain't got nobody to send in there. We going down to the parade. You gotta do coverage. Or black and brown, kill yourself. We're gonna put some transit officers on the sidewalk. And if it's shots fired, they can't move from that sidewalk because that's their assigned area. I'm not here for that. They're gonna kill each other anyway. Who's the man said from Queen? The cop. That's what they think of us. And it's our fault because we allow them to think that way. For years, we've been begging to sit at tables like this. Now they're breaking down our doors to come to meet with us to sit at our tables. Everybody thought Barack Obama getting elected was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Barack Obama wasn't in front of public housing. He introduced the RAD program, Rental Assistance Demonstration. Was good for rural parts of North Carolina, ain't good for big city New York. Private management coming in, eviction rates are high. They're high. More people get put out than people going in. Oh, you private manager coming, you can add everybody. That wasn't on the lease to the lease. So now you putting everybody on the lease and whatnot. Oh, she can't stay, he can't stay. Now you picking and choosing who can stay. But you're gonna let him stay. You're gonna let him stay because he's making $116,000 a year. And now her rent doesn't go where she's paying $800 with NYCHA. She's now paying $1,700, $1,800. But what they didn't tell her was that you in that 1%, you only can get that big money twice. This year, the following year, you gotta move or you gotta sign a new lease. And that new lease you sign, you're charged what it costs to operate that apartment if you choose to stay. So if it costs them $4,500 to operate that particular apartment, that's your rent. You can buy a house and a car, put in that house and that garage. But nobody don't tell you what's on the fine right. So if nobody else has anything else to add, I thank you all for your time.
I just want to say one more thing too. As we get ready to look to the site visits, remember that your questions that you may have, you have to go to the chair first. If you have questions that you want to ask while we're at the site visit, the chair has to approve those questions, so you want to make sure the questions are formulated in a way in agreement with the committee's norms. Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Again, thank you all for coming out. God bless you all.
Get home safe.
Get home safe, and our meeting is adjourned.
Good meeting.
Good night.